So I'm often asked, well, what conditions is fasting beneficial for? And you know, it's an interesting question because the question itself belies a lack of understanding of what fasting is really all about. And you know, it's completely understandable that this happens because in our culture we're completely used to using drugs and substances, herbs, whatever it might be, in order to try to deal with a particular condition. You have this, you take that, you get this thing, you have that. But the only reason that works that way is because in each case, every one of those substances is just allowing the body, or allowing the substance to suppress the symptoms. Really the body, in reaction to the substance, whether it's a drug or an herb, is suppressing a symptom. Fasting is different. Its very nature is completely different. And in order to understand why fasting works for virtually everything, it's important to understand that the human body, like every other organism on the planet, is 100% self-healing and 100% self-cleansing. There's nothing that we can do that ever makes the body heal faster. This is a myth. It continues to be promulgated by people who've got wares to sell, right? They've got the next superfood or the next program or the next cleanse or the next herb or the next drug, whatever it might be. But you want to understand that there's no way you can take something that can make your body heal faster. There's no way you can do something to the body that's going to make it heal faster. Now, there may be mechanical issues that a good chiropractor might be able to fix. You know, there might be something out of balance that way. There's all kinds of mechanical things happening. But ultimately, when there's disease, it's because the body is toxic, and usually because, and not always in fact, because the body is dehydrated. And it's actually taken me a while to figure out that it's really the dehydration piece is the greatest piece here. It's actually the underlying cause of everything else that happens. And I say that because although toxicity is a very real problem today, the average person is walking around, in one study performed 7 or 8 years ago in North America, with more than 50% of the 75 very toxic persistent environmental toxins that the study looked for. They found the average person had more than 50% of these substances in their body in measurable quantities. So the average person's body is quite toxic. And what fasting does, and all fasting does, there's no magic to it. It looks like magic when you see incredible miracles all the time, in things that aren't supposed to happen, like multiple sclerosis, an incurable disease, disappearing. When you see people with joint problems, you know, a woman who's supposed to have her hips replaced, walking with no pain after 32 days of fasting. When you see, I'm trying to remember how long it was. When you see tumors going away, when you see lower GI tract problems that according to medicine are incurable, heal themselves. It looks like magic. It's not magic. And in other videos I'll explore each of those conditions and some of the stories that I've seen, some of the actual cases I've seen around them. What's going on is simply that when we're processing food, we're using 50% of the body's daily energy or more every day processing those calories and nutrients through the system. And by the way, it doesn't make any difference if this is whole food, natural whole food, which is of course the best we can ever do, or if this is fragmented juices, which are not natural, which we process in a machine, losing most of the nutritional value to oxidation within just minutes. According to one study, 40% within 3 minutes. And that was in a process, by the way, a press where there was no air being introduced. In a typical juicer, you're losing much more than that. So whether, and of course when we consume juices, we're consuming very concentrated nutrients and calories. A glass of carrot juice has 5 times as many carrots as you would ever eat, when that means 5 times as many calories, 5 times as many nutrients. It seems like it'd be much easier to digest because there's no fiber involved, but you're still working the body very hard to process this stuff through the system. And so anytime we're consuming anything at all, the body's putting most of its energy every single day into processing food, digesting, absorbing, assimilating. these three processes combined take most of the body, and eliminating, take most of the body's energy. The only way we can stop this from happening completely is to stop eating completely. Now, if you've seen the previous video, I've already explained that we have body fat, and the body fat is there so that we don't need to eat. The nutrients are in the body already, the body has all the calories it needs, and only when we stop eating completely and drink only water, and by the way, drinking water is not natural to the body, but necessary because the average person is dehydrated. Again, I'll explore that at another time in much more detail. So fasting is so incredibly powerful and so beneficial for virtually everything because it is literally the best way to get out of the way. We're simply giving our own incredible bodies. These bodies have virtually infinite intelligence with regard to their own needs. And when we fast, water only fast, we're giving the body a chance to put as much of its energy as possible into the processes of cleansing and healing. And this is why we see these miraculous things happen. Even when someone's been eating a virtually perfect raw vegan diet for 10 or 12 years, I've seen this numerous times. Even when someone's done multiple juice fasts and all the cleanses you can imagine, we see this all the time. Those things don't even come close to doing what your body can do when we completely get out of the way and let it use all its energy to cleanse and heal like only the body ever could to begin with.